good, YouTube? It's your boy Spiritual Trip back for another video. Tonight's topic is a very interesting topic. But before I get into tonight's topic, I just want to give a big shout out to all my subscribers. We had 30. We passed the 30 mark now. So, like I said, I appreciate y'all, and I mean that from my heart. And y'all helping me and y'all watching me grow as a YouTuber, as a content creator. I could have been gave it up even when the views low and all of that, but y'all keeping me going and y'all keeping me motivated to keep doing what I'm doing. So with that being said, I really appreciate y'all. So tonight's topic is my mushroom experience. It's why Shroom World. It's how I feel about mushrooms, what I think mushrooms do. So I'm gonna just jump right into tonight's story. And I want to give a big shout out to Kevin Wesley for even replying back to my comment. And it's kind of funny how it all worked. It's funny how the universe works. So I've been wanting to put this video out for a long time. Not even a long time, but since I made the YouTube channel, I've been wanting to talk about my mushroom experience. That was going to be one of my videos, is my mushroom experience. But I didn't put the video out. My other topics and stuff to talk about at the moment. But this one morning I wake up, I jump on my YouTube. I watch a lot of stuff about stocks. I watch Richard Fain. I watch who else? Aristotle, the investments. I watch Love Dorsey. I watch a whole lot of Kevin Wesley. I watch a whole lot of people, and I look at these people as my mentors. And I've been watching these people for like the last 5-6 years, maybe longer than that. Honestly, was watching Brother Polite, Professor Griff. I've my background knowledge on a lot of these people that I just mentioned. I watch a lot of their videos, and a lot of their videos help me change my life around. But to talk about my mushroom experience, and before we get into it, all right. Yes, I smoke weed. I smoke a lot of weed. I don't even smoke a lot of weed. I smoke maybe a blunt a day. But so yeah, my mushroom experience, right? So how did I start messing with mushrooms? It started back in 2020. I had a friend named Alicia Sanders. We went to high school together, basically. After high school, seeing her on Facebook and seeing the way she thought, I just was always interested in, like, yeah, she kind of different. She ain't the average person, but she was saying a lot of stuff that was just like clicking with me for some reason. So after we graduated high school, we ended up linking outside of school a couple times, and that she started teaching me about your chakra. I had zero idea what a chakra was. I didn't know any of it. I didn't know law of attraction. I didn't know about any of this stuff, and she started teaching me it. We were sitting in the car talking, smoking, and she would just start explaining to me why she acted the way she acted in school. Like, she used to do a lot of weird shit in school. If you went to charter school, then you would know. But she's part of my story and my spiritual journey, a big part of it, honestly. So boom, we start hanging out outside of high school, and she started putting me on to mad stuff. So I graduated back in 2015. So I'll say maybe 2016 is when we started probably hanging out outside of social media and stuff like that. Nothing like deep like that, but a real life friendship for real. And so we hanging out, she teaching me stuff, I'm doing my own research, I'm going home studying, or I'm looking up everything she's saying to confirm it, and it's all making sense. But basically she explained to me that in school she was how she was because all she did was read books. So it really wasn't much a teacher could tell her at after a certain grade. It was like she already knew it, like, and she understood the assignment. She already understood, like, yeah, these people ain't teaching us what the shit that we supposed to be learning. Now, what she did on her free time and the extra stuff or whatever, I don't know about all of that stuff, but this is just my experience with this, and all of this is going to tie into with the mushrooms and everything else. So this is going to be on the longer side of the video. So if you got headphones, or you driving somewhere, or you working or something, got a headphone in, pop your headphone in and just listen to the story, because it's a crazy story, and it's kind of tying back to what, if you go on Kevin Wesley page and type in mushrooms, yeah, just go check out that video. So boom, me and Alicia get acquainted. A friend that I went to school with. We get acquainted. We start hanging out and stuff. So that's like 2016. Fast forward to like 2019. I end up going on a run. I end up I had a situation going on. I didn't want to go to jail, so I packed up my kids' mom and my both my kids, and we drove to Florida. We I said fuck it, because I really wasn't trying to go to jail. It was really some bullshit why they was trying to lock me up in the first place. But however, it was on me. I did what I did, and I had to pay the consequences. But at the time, my girl was she just had my baby mom. She just had our second child or whatever. So in my mind, I'm like, well, shit, I don't want to leave you with a newborn and our oldest son. So if your parents allow it, whatever the case may be, then we might as well just up and move to Florida with them. And her parents was cool with it. So shit, we moved to Florida, and that's when everything changed, right? So peep this. It's 2019. It's about to be New Year's going into 2020. For y'all that remember, it was COVID. Never knew shit about COVID. What happened? Juice World died. Kobe Bryant died. It's like the world was just shifting. That was a major shift around 2019 to 2000 or to 2020. Face masks. We got to wear masks and stuff now. We got to do all this stuff. We got to walk one direction in store. That was a crazy time to be alive. Honestly, we got riots and stuff going on. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So I live in Buffalo, New York. I moved to Florida to Kissimmee, and Kissimmee was good. Like, it was almost to a point where it's like everything worked out perfectly, because it wasn't like I had some serious charge to where they had fucking SWAT and motherfuckers looking for me and shit. Nah, it wasn't nothing like that. It was just some other shit. So what happens is we go down there. We down there for like almost 9 months or so. Things started getting rocky down there. Not only that, I started peeping that courts are closed. People aren't like, everything is becoming digital. Like, court, everything is digital now. So it's like I'm feeling safe and I'm feeling good to go back to Buffalo. Not only that, I had my cooking business in Buffalo too, where I had a lot of my money was in Buffalo. Basically, I didn't have clientele in Florida yet, and so I moved back to Buffalo to go make some money. Really, I moved back to Buffalo, so I'm in Florida for 9 months. But while I'm down there, Alicia texts me, and she's telling me like this is all part of the plan. This is all part of the story. You need to be back in Buffalo, but like I got screenshots of these messages, and it's so many words. She's just telling me that things are changing. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay, cool. So I'm listening to her. And then she asked me, she said, have you ever did mushrooms before? And as soon as she asked me, did I did mushrooms before? The first thing I think of is Soul Plane. For those who never watched Soul Plane, who it got? Snoop Dogg, that big ass purple plane, all that good stuff. But there was a scene where I think it was Snoop Dogg did the mushrooms, and I think he passed out or died or some shit like that. So I saw that when I was young as hell. Whenever Soul Plane came out, from that moment on, my view on mushrooms is like, hell no, I'm not doing no mushrooms. Why would I do that shit? I ain't trying to die, so I'm not fucking with them. But when she asked me, I started thinking like, well, she's smart as fuck, and if she doing them shits and tapping into all of this shit, then I would be almost stupid to not do them. So when I moved back to Florida, I hit my boy Jay Exodus up. I think this is how we kind of met too, from his music, and he was close with Alicia as well, whatever. And me and Jay Exodus start cooling type shit. What up? What's good with you, brother? Jay Exodus, that's my boy. So I hit bro up. He put me on he put me on, not just even with the mushrooms. He put me on game, period. And I'm realizing like, yo, yeah, bro tapped in too. So basically, Alicia introduced us together, or introduced us, and then we just sparked like, that's bro now. So we come back to Buffalo. I hit bro up for some shrooms, because now she telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, now I gotta try this shit. The shit she talking about, like, but no, take that back. She didn't tell me anything about mushrooms per se, like what to expect, but she's describing them in the sense where I'm like, it don't sound too bad. Why the fuck not? So I come back to Buffalo. I'm here for like a month or whatever. Boom. So I hit my man's up, get some shrooms from him, right? I ate, I'm not sure how much I ate. I maybe ate less than the eighth of shrooms or whatever. And the very first time I ate them, I didn't feel nothing. Like I didn't feel nothing at all, right? So boom. I'm like, okay, like nah, it can't just be nothing, right? It can't just be nothing. So I hit my man's up again for I'm like, yo, I'm gonna eat a whole eighth this time. So my man's so side note, I never did any research whatsoever on mushrooms. I didn't know how I was gonna react. I didn't know if I was gonna have a good trip or bad trip. I did zero research about mushrooms. I'm just going off of Alicia words off of mushrooms, like they good shit. So okay, so boom, second time, basically I do the mushrooms, I do a whole eighth, right? I don't know how many grams that is, whatever the case may be. I do a whole eighth. So I'm sitting there. I'm not sure how the high is supposed to feel. I'm not sure what the fuck. I'm just taking these shits, like just going like fuck it. I'm on some fucking shit. I'm already on a run. I'm like, yo, fuck it. I really don't care. So I do a whole eighth, and I'm with my kid's mother at the time. So she never tried them, but she's sitting next to me the whole time while I'm about to go on this trip, right? So I do the mushrooms. I'm sitting in my kitchen, and I'll say it took about 45 minutes for me to really start feeling anything. So the very first thing I started noticing is I kept yawning. Like I yawned back to back to back to back. And I'm like, no, my first yawn, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm sleepy or some shit. My second yawn, I'm like, all right. My third yawn, I'm like, yo, why the fuck do I keep yawning? Like, is this what's supposed to be happening type shit? So I'm just yawning back to back to back. So boom, I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is it. It's about to start kicking in or whatever. So I didn't know how long it was gonna last for. I didn't know nothing really. I was just raw dogging this shit. So I'm sitting in my kitchen, and then the first thing I started noticing is that my refrigerator, we got the fridge that you could pull open like this, and both doors open, right? And then at the bottom is a freezer. But the two bars and the two bars that you pull and the freezer one that's this way, it's starting to look it's starting to look like a face. And I'm telling my kid's mom, like, yo, do you see that? I'm like, and the stuff I'm explaining to her, you don't see it off rip, but if you actually look at it like that, you would see what I'm saying basically. So she like, yeah, I see it, whatever, cool, cool, cool. So I keep yawning still. Now my eyes are watering, like my eyes are starting to pour with tears or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, yo, I'm starting to think that I'm about to have an allergic reaction or some shit. Like I'm starting to think like damn, I did zero research. I probably should have did some fucking research before doing these shits. So I I go up in the front in my living room. We got fish tanks and couches, and it's just comfortable up there. So and mad plants and shit. So I go up in the front room. This is like maybe 45 an hour into the mushrooms. So I wasn't on anything else. I wasn't drinking, or I didn't drink at the time. I might have smoked weed, but I don't think I did. I think I just went straight ate this room. So I start making out faces and little stuff. Like I'm seeing faces and stuff. Like it's just like certain shit is starting to form. It's not even. It's like it was already there, but now that the shrooms. So and I get to that part in a second. But to be on the story, so I go in the front room and I sit on the couch, and I'm up here. It's all black. It's dark. It's dark up there too. And I just start getting this weird sensation through my body, like very uncomfortable. I ain't gonna lie. At first, that come up of the shrooms is so uncomfortable. Like I'm feeling like almost sick. I'm feeling sick to my stomach. Like yo, well, I'm thinking I'm having an allergic reaction because I keep yawning, and now my ears are starting to like feel like they clogging. So I'm fucking I'm sitting on the couch, and my kids sleep, but my kid mom is in the room. So I'm feeling like crazy. I'm feeling out of my body. I am not gonna lie. I'm feeling like I never felt before. And then like an hour into it, the hour 30 minutes into it, it just like something just Like I went into a whole nother fucking realm. Felt like. So what happens is I remember, and I'm telling you this, like I remember it clear as day. Like I never lost a memory of that day, and I probably never will, because that was like the most best experience of my life to this day. I'll talk to you about the shroom world, but that's how I got my clothing line as well. But all right, so I go from the front room with the fish tanks and shit, and I go in my room, and I'm like, yo, I gotta lay down. Like I'm feeling crazy right now, so I'm laying down, and she laying next to me. My kid's mom laying next to me, and I'm like, yo, I'm feeling like crazy, and then how my eyes was watering. I started seeing like the first thing I started noticing was my hand, and I'm like, yo, it feel like I could see my fucking. I'm seeing shit that like I'm waving my hand and everything. It's just cool. I don't know how else. It's just like cool. The shit is just like I'm looking at my hands, and it's like, yo, like almost like I could see my individual veins, but all of them together. So it's like I'm just looking at my hands, and now I'm starting to feel like, yo, what the fuck? So I'm still yawning. My eyes are still watering. So what I'm thinking is like, whatever the case may be, is why I'm starting to see things in a whole different lens now. It's like it wasn't the worst thing about shrooms is probably like your stomach turning or whatever. And I'm pretty sure there are ways to get around that. I also did acid before, but I'll talk about that in another story, and I compared the two. But with the mushrooms, it was like, so I'm laying in bed, and then another switch came, and I'm like maybe an hour 2 hours into it now, and this is when I started going for the trip. So as I'm laying there, I was laying there, and my radio signal was tuning into a whole nother frequency that I never been to before, basically. So I'm laying in there, and now I'm starting to get all these messages, basically. So one of the things that popped in my head was my kid's mom laying next to me. I was like, yo, search this name up. Never heard the name before, never whatever. The name I searched up was the writer of the Matrix. Never like I know the actors of the Matrix, but I didn't know the writers. I didn't even know what their name was. So for that name to pop in my head, I'm like, so she popped that in, she typed it in, and she's, yeah, that's the writer of the Matrix. No lie, I put this on Harry. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So my brain is just like, I'm on a whole different fucking signal right now. So this part of the story is where it get like it changed. I think it changed me for real, for real. Like it was two times. Well, almost every time I do mushrooms, the shit changed me a little, changed me somehow. But so I'm laying there, right? I'm just like almost like receiving all these messages that is like what I feel mushrooms do. I feel like it tap you into a certain frequency for about for a certain limited amount of time. And I feel like, no, you don't have to do mushrooms to experience some of these experiences, but mushrooms is like a gateway to that shit. Like mushrooms is like and then I started putting everything together. Like, yeah, as I'm watching Kevin Wesley video, and he's talking about the same things that that's how I know we is all connected. And that's one of the so to stay on subject. So before I even get to the part that I'm about to get to, that's one of the another thought that popped in my head was I looked to my kid's mom, and I'm like, yo, we all connected. Like I'm talking to her. It's like just picture like a therapist. Like she's almost my therapist in a sense, and I'm just laying down telling her everything that come to my mind. So I'm telling her like, yo, yeah, search this up, yo. I'm feeling like real smart and intelligent, like, or no, I'm not even feeling smart. I'm feeling like tapped into some shit. I don't even know how to explain it, honestly. I really can't even explain it. But if you did mushrooms before, a lot of the people that hear stories from after talk basically say the same thing. So one of the things that Kevin Wesley was saying was that everything is everything, right? So side note, right? I hope y'all keeping up with me. Side note, when I was in prison, I was like, this is how I came up with my clothing brand name. So Juice World was one of my favorite artists, and when I trip off shrooms, I watch some of his videos, and I feel like he was tapped into some shit. So when I was in prison, it just like kind of clicked. Like I like shrooms, and I fucked with Juice World, so Shroom World, right? But what was cool about what Kevin Wesley said, he said, and he said everything is everything, right? Now, remind you, Kevin Wesley just put this video out like a couple days ago. I had my clothing line for maybe since I've been out of prison, so like maybe 2-3 years now, right? But my logo or my saying is, if you could read that, that say everything is everything. That's on all my clothes. Now, mind you, I just watched Kevin Wesley video. I never, we never spoke. We never, you feel me? But when he said everything is everything, and he got that fucking that same sign, that's I'm like, okay, so I'm not tripping. I'm I'm like, okay, I'm not tripping. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, I'm laying there, right? And I get that thought. I get everything is everything. And I'm like, yo, we all connected. It don't matter any shape, form, or we everything. Like we're all one. Like we're everything is everything. Like we're all like just one. So this is why I have a lot of empathy for people more than normal. However, I people have their own choices and free will, so I don't get too wrapped up in people's choices because we all got it. And I'm not about to lose my soul for somebody, whatever the case may be. So as I'm laying there, I'm about 3 hours into it now, right? And this is when the craziest shit happens. So I'm laying there, I'm laying in bed, I'm saying all. It sounds like I'm crazy, right? But I'm just saying all this stuff, and then it's like the world stopped, and my brain went to a signal, and it was my brother that passed, Jahari, and I felt his presence in the room with me. And what he said to me was like he's communicating with me telepathically. And what he said to me was, now for those who don't know, Jahari he was like a brother to me basically. And then 2018 he was riding this motorcycle and crashed into the back of a truck and he died. So 2018 was a real rough year. We talked an hour before he died, and that shit fucked with me. That fucked me up. So that's part of the reason why I was on a run, because I went through a phase of drinking heavy. I'm just wilding. I'm not myself at the moment. So I went through depression. I went through grieving. I went through all of that. So and it wasn't just Jahari presence that I felt. I felt my man's Flash. I felt his presence, and I believe I felt my man's Lee presence. I before like those were like the first three people that I was like close with that passed away. So it's funny that though, like that's the only frequencies or feelings. It wasn't just them though. It was like a whole bunch of energies, but I feel like the main one that was speaking to me was Jahari. And what he said to me, he said, I can't cross back over to this realm, but I'm okay where I'm at. And I just broke out in tears. Like, and basically, in so many words, he basically told me, like, yo, I'm good, bro. Like, keep doing you, in so many words. Like, he's okay. And that's when I accepted, like, he's not coming back. So why do I need to keep on beating myself up about it? Like, that's not what he want. He want me to keep on spreading life. Like if I was to take my life, I wouldn't be able to commit or post these YouTube videos to possibly help somebody one day. If I was to crash out or do something, I wouldn't be able to help people. And that's when I understand what my purpose is. I'm here to help. I'm here to try to wake people up. So after he told me that, I just go into tears. Like I'm crying. Like I cried about him when I was drunk, but this was a whole different cry. This one was like from the soul. This one was like from deep within, like a cry that I never cried before. So my kid's mom a witness to all of this shit. So I'm really sitting there like I'm talking to him out loud, but at the same time, I said like, okay, like I understand now. Like, okay, I understand it now. Like, and I'm crying and I'm like all fucked up. But I say that part, right? Because it sounds crazy. And it sounded crazy to myself. Like, is that, did I really feel him or am I tripping? So if y'all don't know, I watch a lot of ghost videos. Ghost videos is probably, I've been watching ghost videos since a kid. Ghost hunters, ghost adventures. I love anything to do with ghosts. Anything to do with ghosts, I'm watching it. And there's a lot of times in those ghost videos where the ghosts will be like it would be a median or somebody, or to be somebody with a EMP session, whatever the case may be, and either the ghost might need help, the ghost might, like, they sometimes they say help me, or the spirit will say help me, and I started piecing shit together. Like, what if their spirits get stuck on this realm and they don't know how to escape this realm, so they stay in this realm and they need help? That's my explanation of it, is that, yeah, they like people that commit suicide, people that's been uh um just unexpected, like an instant car crash or something just unexpected, and they get stuck in this realm and they can't get over it. If you ever watch Lovely Bones, almost something like that. Like, that's why that's one of my favorite movies too, Lovely Bones. If you ain't go watch that movie, go watch it. That's I watched it later. I caught on to the movie, is out for years. I just watched it like after my mushroom experiences and shit. I was like, yo, this is my favorite movie now. So I'm watching, so I'm just piecing everything together, and I'm like, okay, so now I believe that when we die, this ain't it. We are energy and we go off into the world. So that was a weight lifted off of my shoulders, like the fear of death. I no longer fear death. Like, when it's my time, it's my time. Ain't nothing I could do about it. It's nothing y'all could do about it. And for y'all as well, y'all can't do nothing about death. So you might as well embrace this shit. I got another mushroom story talking about death, but for those who know what Midnight Gospel is, or the Midnight Gospel, I want to stay on topic though. So I'm talking about feeling my brother, or I'm feeling my dead one's presence in the room with me. So I go through a phase of crying, and then I felt like a relief off of me or whatever. So then after that, it was kind of like my high. I'm like 3, 4, maybe 5 hours into the shit, and now I'm just getting a whole bunch of re-ins, a whole bunch of, now my body's starting to like it's starting to like the I'm coming down from my high basically, and it was like, if I took them at, let's say, 11 o'clock at night, I didn't get done tripping until about, it was morning time. It was like 6, 7 in the morning. So I was up. Like, if you ever plan to do that, I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything. I'm just telling you my story. But if you ever plan to, make sure you got at least 8 hours kid free or anything. You don't want to do it when your kids around. Nah, none of that. Nah, this is something that you do on your time. Not only that, something that was helping me navigate my trip was going on YouTube and typing in meditation music. So it's like my, like without the meditation music, it seemed like my mind was like, I was receiving so much at so little bit of time, and I can understand, yeah, that might creep a lot of people out, and people might get paranoid and have a bad trip and call it a bad trip. But what I believe is that when you put on a meditation music or something calm or something soothing like that, it mellows you out, so you're kind of able to, it's like floating in space, but you got a rope to hold on to now. So now you're not just all over space. Like, you could hold, like, and this was what the meditation music doing for me. Kevin Wesley said to eat fruit while you do shrooms, and I never ate. It's hard for me to eat off. I could barely drink water off of mushrooms, to be honest. So I just be, I don't know what the fuck be going on, to be honest, but uh, yeah, I be feeling like this. What mushrooms to me is like taking a trip, but before you leave, before you eat mushrooms, and especially if you're gonna do a high amount, make sure your bags is packed. Make sure you good. Make sure your head is in a good spot. Make sure it's like, before you get on a road, let's say you drive into another state, it's like you about to take a trip to another state, right? So you want to make sure everything good before you leave, because once you take off and get on that road, yeah, it's a road, it's a journey, and I'm not even gonna lie, it's sometimes it can be overwhelming, and I think that's where people have bad trips. Have I had a bad trip? Nah, the worst trip I probably had was when my kids' mom and my kids moved to Florida back in like 2000 or 2021 maybe, or something around that time. They moved for a minute, and that day when they got on the plane and left, and we took them to the airport and shit, I went home that day and I was already missing my kids and shit. But this is how I started watching Midnight Gospel. For those who don't know what Midnight Gospel is, oh, that fucking that's Clancy right there. And then you got the cats, and you got the Grim Reaper, then you got the president, You feel me? It's kind of hard to see whatever. Then you got who else I got? Oh, this dude, the fishbowl head dude. I got to get my old sleeve finished. But why I started fucking with Midnight Gospel, my boy Jay Exodus told me to check it out, and I'm watching it, and I get to that last episode, tripping. I'm tripping hard as hell off shrooms, and I get to that last episode, and I'm scrolling on my phone, like I'm looking at even my phone screen look raw and shit, right? But with Midnight Gospel, I would say like it's more so listen to what they saying to what's going on in the background because it's a wild show. But when you get to that last episode, it's like I was tripping, and I ain't gonna ruin it for nobody that ain't watch it. But there was a scene or the last scene that I cried so hard on. Before that though, my bad trip was just feeling alone. I felt alone, and I was very self aware of it. Like, damn, I'm alone. Like I'm in a room by myself, alone. It's just me. My kid's not here. My girl at the time not here. It's just me. Like I'm alone right now. So if you're not strong minded, then it'll eat you up. Being alone, even sober, will eat you up. But being alone on shrooms by yourself, being weak minded, yeah, that's not for the weak, man. So, and then after I cried, I felt like I released so much. And these aren't just normal cry. Even when you laugh, like I felt like I was laughing in slow motion. Like I was laughing like deep from deep in my diaphragm, like the hardest laughs you could think. Everything is just beautiful. I never did mushrooms in the daytime. Anytime I did mushrooms, it was at nighttime, which is crazy because I would love to see what the world looked like. But that's the thing. As a parent, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do mushrooms in the daytime for me, which I would like to believe is a responsible parent. But yeah, so I never did shrooms in the daytime. I always take them after the kids is situated, everybody good. So now I'm about to go on this trip. So yeah, that was my first mushroom trip, and I was watching Kevin Wesley video, and a lot of stuff that he said was, if it was 100% accurate. Even the comments, the people that was commenting on the video was accurate to what I experienced without doing any research. Even watching ASAP Rocky, he said the same. He said everything is everything, and I'm like, yo, so that's how I know it's not like it's not like the poison that's tripping you out. We're all connected, and I feel like that's why they made the shit a category 1 drug, because they understand the powers, or maybe they don't understand the powers of it, but yeah, they do. The people know what's going on with the mushrooms, so that's why the shit is what it is. Me personally, I do them maybe twice a year because of how intense the high is. I can't handle it doing that shit every day. Hell nah. But those 2 trips, or however many trips, 3-4 trips a year, be enough for me. If anybody doing them shits back to back, unless you microdosing, but if you just doing them shits like candy, you a wild boy. And you probably gonna burn. It's probably not even intended for you to just eat them shits like every single day. I don't even know how you would function off them shits every single day, for real, because them shits is something different. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I got a lot of messages off of them. Uh, Hence the name Spiritual Trip. My rap name is Trip God. Anything to do with gods and tripping, I'm with it. I believe we're all gods in a sense. We're all connected, no matter what you believe in. I was raised Muslim, but I don't. I believe in this. I call my God the source of life. That's what it is. Like I know that there's something greater than myself, and that's all that matters. Whatever you believe in, it don't even matter. We're still all connected at the end of the day. White, black, green, purple. We're all connected, no matter if we like it or not. Uh, we're all connected, and everything is everything. And if you're ever gonna do mushrooms, maybe do some research on them. Maybe cause I ate my shits. I think I lemon tech them. I soaked mine in lemon juice. Somebody told me that I take the flavor away. That shit is disgusting. mushrooms alone, I love mushrooms, like the not the psychedelics, but I love mushrooms on my pizza and shit. But the regular mushrooms, straight up, their shit is nasty. So to cure the taste, you could put it in a smoothie. Or what I started doing now is I get a piece of Hershey's or something. I put the mushroom on top of the Hershey's. They got like mushroom bars. I'm making my own soon. Shroom World bars coming real soon. But my website will be up for the clothing line, Shroom World. I have hella merch and shit coming soon. So I keep y'all updated on my channel about my merch, about my website, and everything else like that. I make music. I cook. I'm a chef as well. Um, yeah, I'm gonna make a video talking more about a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff planned this year. I do a lot of stuff, and I work a 9 to 5 job at that. So yeah, but I just want to give a shout out to Kevin Wesley as well, because you replied to my comment. One, I never, well, you honestly, I never met you before, but you seem like a genuine person. That's why I follow you. Honestly, I've been following your videos since you left the church. I know you was a pastor before. Before I even knew that you had 2 wives, I was fucking with you. After I found out you got 2 wives too, which I've been talking about Polly before I even knew who you was too, but I didn't even know what Polly was. And then I was following Brother Polite for a long time. If you know Brother, I'm pretty sure you might know of Brother Polite, but uh before I came across you, I think I was watching Professor Griffin, Brother Polite, and then you came along, and then Till Swan. I watched Till Swan too as well. Love Dorsey. They all give gems. Like there was, I talked about Kevin Wesley in one of my previous videos, and he made a video talking about ant hills and how ants, when their colony is destroyed, they don't sit around like, oh, what we gonna do? No, they instantly get back to building. So now when I have any kind of inconvenience, I grieve a little bit, not long, nothing longer than 2 days, and then I'm right back to it. It's nothing can stop me, honestly. So I just want to give a shout out to you, Kevin Wesley. I appreciate you a lot. I hope shit one day I can get on your show one day. You feel me? But yeah, now I'm from Buffalo. Um, I hope you watch this video. I hope everybody watch this video. And yeah, shit, that's all I got. I ain't gonna make it too much longer. But yeah, nah, that's all I got. It's your boy Spiritual Trip. I'm out.